am super excited to have you join us on another interesting edition of the Medley Show. You already know my name is Tochi, and thank you so much for always staying tuned to the networks of the NTA and being part of the Medley Show every Wednesday. You already know it's your midday energy, and today we're bringing you a different kind of energy. So I'm sort of excited about today's edition. We already know March is the month where we celebrate women, and we are still celebrating women. But today we'll be looking at women in tech. Yes, we'll be talking to a few women who have distinguished themselves in the area of technology, which will be our focus for today's edition of the Medley Show. So if you stick around, you get to see all the features and segments that we have lined up for you today. And of course, you get to meet my fantastic guests. And don't forget to also send your messages when we open the phone lines. You know, we always value your opinion on the Medley Show. But to kickstart the show, let's bring you what's trending in the world of entertainment. Here is BuzzFeed up next.
Medley Show.
The Medley Show. So that you don't throw anyone into darkness anymore.
I actually fell from a height. That's why.
But what was the defining moment that solidified your path into tech?
Okay, actually went to India to do my master's, and I noticed that young children at the age of 5 and 6 could hold you up, tell you tech, bamboozle you, you know, take you up, tell you they will even turn you to a robot.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the moment I said, no, I need to know more than just this electrical electronics. And I started working with young kids around technology.
Fantastic. And I hope someday we'll get there where a 5-year-old in Nigeria will understand tech.
We're doing well right now, I must tell you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's not where it used to be 11, 12 years ago when it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Romana, let me come to you, right? So you've spent over a decade in the academia, right? And research as well. But how has the computing field evolved for women over the years?
Over the years, in terms of computing, there are lots of, innovations, especially in the computing field. We've seen that the rate at which technology is evolving. So right now for women, there are lots of programs, there are a lot of opportunities, especially fellowships if you're in academia. There are special programs for women in tech. And for me, I'm one of the beneficiaries of such programs.
Right.
Yeah. Last year, I was opportune to go for the African Women in Tech and Artificial Intelligence Fellowship. And 4 of us were selected for the AI Fellowship alongside 80 women from 28 African countries to come up with innovative solutions using artificial intelligence to solve Africa's problems.
Okay.
So there are lots of opportunities for women.
There are lots for women, young women as well.
Yeah, for young women. And then not only young women, because some of the fellowships don't have any age limit.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk to our designer. So you are a digital designer, and you've been doing that for 4 years plus now, I understand? Okay, so tell me, as a designer, as a digital designer, how do you balance creativity and functionality when you're designing for people?
Okay, so I think what we have to consider most of the time is context and use.
Wait, before you answer that question,
Okay.
first of all, what's the digital designer / illustrator? What does your job entail?
Okay. So in the digital design space, it's very broad. So I do actually a lot of things. So it ranges from like digital illustration to user experience design, and then graphic design in the middle. So illustration is basically, you can draw with a pen and a paper and then translate that digitally. It comes in form of like digitally illustrated books, adverts, whatever form of communication people want to share. So that's where illustration comes in. And then graphics design as well. So communication, basically how to share information and how putting in mind how people will receive that information. And then user experience design, which we create applications that people end up using. So we have to know what works best and what will perform better depending on the users, and putting a lot of all those things into consideration. So that's
basically
yes,
it. Okay,
the
so
range.
now, so now, how do you balance being creative and being functional when designing?
So in the industry, it's quite tricky, but finding the balance is where the magic comes in.
Right.
Yes. So most of us have our own ideas and creative direction, and then there's what the client wants, and then there's what the user needs. So it's finding that balance that's the sweet spot. So most of the time, a lot of the time, you have to let go of your own biases as a designer and really look at the data, look at the facts, and do what's best for your client and the users in that case.
Okay, fantastic. So, Stella, when I introduced you earlier, I did tell my audience that you are a STEM evangelist. First of all, what's STEM?
STEM is science, technology, engineering.
And mathematics.
Right now we're at A, which is STEAM.
Right.
Science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics. Because you will get to know the story of Motorola. I actually worked with the Motorola engine and Motorola switch when I was working with the telecom industry. So you notice that they are no more. You can't find Motorola.
Oh, I used them.
So that's why we have the arts, because we got sleeker phones, more beautiful phones, Samsung and all that, doing a whole lot. So that's why we have
arts.
The lady on my side, yes, that's why we have them, because most tech people are just let it walk.
Yes.
Let me be able to talk to the next person on the line, but we found out that people really love to actually make it beautiful for them. So basically that's what STEM is.
So you are deeply involved in STEM, educating, mentoring, and robotics, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I want to know, okay, so when you say robotics, when I hear robots, I'm sure there is more to it, but what comes to my mind are those very stiff things that move like this. That's what robots are, right? Okay, so I want to know, what is it about robotics that excites you, that you feel the need to pass down this knowledge to the younger generation?
That's when the internet came up, we thought, this slang they say, the world is becoming a global village. We thought it was a joke, but truly it isn't a joke.
Right.
Yeah. So when you get to some third world countries right now, when you get there, you notice, like in a supermarket, you won't even find a human there. You shop yourself. You want something to be brought up from the height down. Something comes around to assist you to bring it down, and then you're getting out of the shop. You just do you check out yourself. I mean, you don't need a human. So, and we have begun to have a lot of job around it, where you can even stay in this part of the world, and then you're doing some work for people that are. So there's a need for us to also bring our own children, our own people in the community, to be able to come up with this knowledge, to be able to sit back. You asked her if you want an AI assisted. For me too, that's the same thing I want. I want to just sleep, wake up, something is thinking for me. Yeah, sure. So basically,
humans won't be relevant anymore.
No, but you won't have that knowledge written. You see updates on ChatGPT every day. It's the human that is behind the machine. That is big. Oh, even in the shops where we're talking about, the humans are hidden somewhere, and then you visibly see the computers. That is what is happening. You need to sit down and write these things.
But what 10 people would usually do, you find that one person is doing it.
Yeah, well, we're becoming a lot relevant to and getting things done faster.
Okay,
if you see how robot is helping in the medical industry, you will know that we truly need robots, because they do these things faster and at least take off a lot of death sentences. I mean, bring it back. So we see that there's a need for us to begin to go there
Very
yeah, sure.
important. I agree with you on that. But let me talk to Rumuna now. Still talking about STEM, yeah? So you co-founded the She Tech for Africa initiative, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know, what's the biggest challenge women and girls face in STEM? Should I say STEAM now, since there is an age? And how do you address these challenges? How do you help young girls with this?
Okay, I think there are lots of challenges. Yeah, we have stereotypes, we have cultural barriers, access to
Stereotype
funding,
when it comes to gender.
to gender,
Right.
exactly. Funding, mentorship, scholarships. The challenges are many. So for us, what we do is mentoring. We try to get experts in a specific field, and we get mentees. So we try to pair those mentors and mentees. And we also collaborate with other foundations that are also working in terms of tech and mentoring. For example, there's KSH Africa. Last year, around August, we mentored about 15 girls.
Right. Oh,
Then,
amazing.
then right now, there's She and Tech Foundation, is also into mentorship. So there are mentors who are experienced, and then there are upcoming mentees, and each of these mentees are being mentored by the mentors.
Oh, amazing. I like the mentorship part. I think every young girl, whether young or old, everyone just needs a mentor. So
yeah.
if there's someone telling these young girls that being part of tech is very possible, I think we'll have a lot of women going into tech, because we seem to just think that see how surprised I was when we were saying you do all those things. I mean, because in my head, a guy should do, but I can also do those things. Yeah. So we need girls that will be mentored to know that every girl can do this. But let me quickly speak to you. Okay, go ahead.
And sometimes you'd see young girls full of energy, but they don't have direction.
Right.
So for the mentors try to sit down with them, understand their goals, where they want to go to, and then they try to help them build the roadmap that they would follow so they can reach their full potentials.
Okay. I want to take a quick break, but before that, Safia, quickly talk to me. Yeah? You talked about designing, the sweet spot between designing for the user and the client. So I want to know, what are the biggest mistakes that brands or businesses make when designing their online presence?
Where do I start?
Start from the middle.
Okay, so when it comes to online presence, it's most of the time you see two extremes. Either people are not taking it serious at all, or people are taking it too serious. And sometimes you just have to find that balance. A lot of times people don't see the importance of maybe having something digitally appealing to the audience. They just feel like, oh, let me just jumble up this information, and they do a lot of stuff by themselves, and it also saves cost, so they don't have to pay a graphic designer or someone else. But at the same time, it just translates into like your brand presence and your brand voice. So I could see a poster that's poorly designed, and I just feel, these people, they are not really serious. So a lot of perception is attached to your online presence, the quality of your videos, the quality of your graphics, the quality of your images as well. So yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break now and bring you top 3 anything, but not to worry. They're still here. When we get back, the conversation will continue. Stay with us. The Medley Show. Thank you so much, Ridwan, for putting that together. And just so you know, that was our list, and we celebrate every woman in tech, right? Yes, so thank you again, Ridwan. I still have Stella, Sophia, and Rumuna in the studio, and we are still celebrating the excellence of women in tech. But do remember that you can send us your messages to 090-138-989550, and of course, we get to read your messages on the show. I'll read the messages soon because I already have some coming in. But then, I want to play a little game, another small game with my guests. So this one I called rapid fire questions, right? So I'm going to start with you, Sophia. Did I start with you the last time? No, I started with her, so I'm starting with you next. Okay, so coding or designing?
Design.
I shouldn't have asked you that. Okay, so Ms. Stella, Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay, they're my people. All right, so cybersecurity or AI?
Cybersecurity.
Right. So dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode,
Ah.
please. Dark mode always.
Always. Okay, so virtual reality or augmented reality, Stella?
Augmented reality.
Augmented, okay. I'm not sure I know what that means. Let me not. Let me
I
just,
do
whichever
the
one
t-
you pick, Sha.
I do the two, so I'm thinking.
Okay, whichever one you pick, I agree with you. Okay, so since you picked cybersecurity, let me ask you this, yeah? So I've also noticed from my research that your cybersecurity is basically for children, especially for children. Yeah. So what are some of the biggest online risks that children face today online?
Yeah, mostly cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying?
Yeah, cyberbullying. Sometimes you'd see that maybe students having their homeworks online and you could see a threat, maybe trying to send in inappropriate words to them, you know, trying to bring them down, stuff like that.
That's the only kind of risk children, because even without the internet, children deal with that every day in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they deal with other children trying to put them down, but there must be something online. There must be a reason why we don't allow our children go online until a certain age.
Yeah.
So what should parents be aware of?
Access to pornographic contents. Yeah, it's advisable for parents to always have filter, especially on their YouTubes, to be able to stop them from accessing inappropriate contents.
So if you could introduce one tech-related subject to schools now, Nigerian schools today, what would that be?
It could be children online safety, of course.
Why?
Yeah.
Tell us what would be in this curriculum.
Okay, they should understand things to like the red flags, first of all, so as to prevent them from falling victims, and then ways they can, maybe after they've been victims, and how they can go about reporting to maybe a parent or their teachers or any caregiver.
Okay. So, Sophia, digital design is everywhere. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I could go to Canva now and try to do something. Hey, you get it. So, but what do people often misunderstand when it comes to design in the tech industry? What is the biggest misunderstanding?
I would say it's very subjective. Okay. So a lot of times people see stuff and they have opinions on why is it not like this, or why did you put this text here, or why is this button here? But the thing that they fail to understand is it's not without reason. We have principles that we follow. Okay. We have data that we have data-backed research that we actually use to come up with these designs. So say, for example, if you are creating the UI for a mobile app now, there's what we call the touch range. So like we use our thumbs primarily. So you can't put a button where, like a primary button that you want people to, you know, quickly tap on. You can't put it out of reach for that person. So these are just a few things that we consider when we're designing. So, yeah.
So those of us that just jump to Canva and do something, we don't know all these rules. And
so the good thing about apps like Canva is they make it very accessible to everybody, but at the same time, okay, we have templates that you can easily, you know, edit and make it your own, and then you can also create from scratch. So it's a really good tool. I'm not against it at all. Even though people say like it takes jobs away from us, but I don't believe that. So it helps small business owners. You don't expect someone that's, you know, struggling to get things by to go and hire like a high-tech designer to come and do this simple stuff. So yeah, yes, for that it's very good, but at the same time, if someone understands the principles for design, like line, text, typography, color, and know how these things work together, they are going to be...
I have to learn all that.
Yes, you do. They're going to be excellent with whatever tool you use, not just Canva.
So Stella, I want to blow your trumpet small, right? Okay. So you were named among the 25 women in robotics in 2017, and Tech Women 2019 alumna, and you were also a Tech Woman 2019 alumna, right? Okay. So how has this global recognition shaped your career?
For Tech Women...
Because even me just saying it here now, I'm sure it did something to you.
Yeah, so for Tech Women alumni is actually the game changer. Because like you just said, you fell into my trap by asking me AR or VR.
You said chat for me.
Yes. So VR and AR was actually the company I worked with for 5 weeks. It's a free program that the U.S. Embassy picks women in tech, take them to the U.S., and then you mention the area you want to work with. So I wanted to see virtual reality and augmented reality in the classroom in Nigeria. So I worked with an organization that helped me to shape that, ensuring that I reached out to almost all the organizations that are doing things around that in California, because I was in California for 5 weeks. So that has helped me be able to say, okay, I've brought back that knowledge to Nigeria, and also ensuring that the boy in the classroom in the government school is able to access virtual reality, is able to access augmented reality at a very, very... In fact, he becomes an innovator. He can build it himself, and that's what it has helped me do. So for me, it's not just a recognition. For me, it was a game changer, and
open more doors.
It did open more doors. Yeah, thank you.
So let me take a few messages. Hello, good afternoon. I'm a first timer on the show. Oh, Sam Ben is in here to ring the bell for you, but we'll get that. And I'm really enjoying the show. It's educating and relaxing. Keep it up. My name is Binan Martin Luther King from Abuja. Wow, that's an amazing name. Okay, so I have another message. Hi, greetings. This message is long. I feel that Nigerian government talking about technology advancement is not completely working out. They talk about skill acquisition, but once someone acquires that skill, he's completely ignored, and foreigners are valued more than them. I don't believe that. I believe that you mentioned there are opportunities in Nigeria for women as well. So I don't completely agree with this. Then I have currently developed 4 AI projects, and I know I have been struggling to get funding, but no one is listening. Okay, maybe he hasn't been searching the... Okay, so Rumna, tell me, are there funding opportunities for women getting into tech? Because you mentioned it as a challenge, or are there existing opportunities, just in case some people do not know about it, or they don't know they can access these funds?
Is it within Nigeria or
within
global?
Nigeria? Well, you can access funding without outside Nigeria too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But within Nigeria, I know, for example, NITDA, they have programs specifically for women, and then it seems the person asking the question is a guy, right?
Well, no name, no location.
You mentioned someone having, is it AI projects?
Yeah, he said he has 4 AI projects.
Yeah.
Or she, whoever, and doesn't know, he's struggling to get funding.
Okay, yeah, I think he should be following NITDA on their social media handles, because they regularly do call for applications. So most of the times when they call for those applications, applicants do submit their applications and they pitch for funding. So I think they select, is it the top 10 or so, to fund their project, their initiatives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hi, good afternoon. My name is Anne, and I'm really happy and impressed with what I'm seeing. I'm really impressed with what I see all women in tech doing, and I'd like to be part of it. So here's the question. But do I need a certificate before growing in mentorship programs and fellowships and all to build a career in tech? So, Stella?
No, you don't.
You don't need a certification?
You don't need a certification to start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
So how do you start?
Yeah, if she's talking about mentorship, if you get a mentor who can mentor you one-on-one, you start from there. You don't let the certificate thing be the first thing you're looking at. Of course, with time, you begin to validate yourself by certification, but you don't first of all need a certificate to start in tech. Fantastic. I have a lot of people who have started tech without a certificate. Yeah,
fantastic. Okay, maybe I should start a career in tech. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for the person asking how to start, so I think she should first start with being a volunteer in most of the tech activities. You start as a volunteer. If there's any conference, you attend those conferences, and when you attend, you have to be like within the tech community. So anytime there's a program, you show up.
Okay.
Yeah, from there you try to you reach out to any of the experts that you see around that conference, and you ask if they can mentor you.
But
so I think that's a good way to start.
Are there opportunities like this too for in graphic designing? or you solely have to just go and get trained?
So for me, I can speak from only my own experience.
Right.
There wasn't so much of support because it wasn't really considered serious tech. It's like when you now switch to stuff like user experience design, they are now considered more inside the tech field. So yeah, but there are a lot of opportunities that are out there, a lot of boot camps. But one thing that we can never have enough of is free resources online. I started with watching videos online, following tutorials click by click, step by step, and that was how I started. No certification or whatsoever needed, just showing up, practicing, working hard, and then you put your work out there so people can give you feedback and you have that community that you can interact with, and then from there it grows.
Oh, you need to put in the work. I like that you mentioned that, but I want to ask you a question based on what Stella said earlier. AI. So she has described for us a store where you go and buy stuff and then little or no humans there.
Yeah.
So these days there is AI and I can practically get AI to do my design.
Yes.
So does that pose a risk for graphic designers or illustrators?
So I don't like to see AI as a competition.
Right. Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm like, it's a tool basically.
Okay.
I don't know if you've used most of the AI image generators or design generators. They're not perfect yet.
No.
They're not perfect yet. So even when it comes to...
You will see that. I will not see it.
But your clients and your customers or people, your audience will
that's
also
possible,
see it,
yeah.
yes. There was something I saw online where someone said, seeing big brands use AI makes me consider them cheap. Because it's like you could afford to hire a brilliant graphics designer, but you just decided to do it yourself, and it's obvious. Like people can see that, oh, this was done with AI.
Yeah,
and
but that's the thing with AI work.
Yeah, the perception is now, oh, these people are kind of cheap, as opposed to, oh, these people hired like a really good graphics designer.
Who cares if I'm cheap, if I communicated? I mean,
it's part of your brand image.
My message,
Yes,
who
it's
cares
part
if
of
I'm
your
cheap?
brand image.
Yes.
Anyway, let me take a few more messages. My name is Austin from Abuja. I want to celebrate these women of substance in your studio. We wish to have more of them in our country. In our country, yes. So congratulations, you're being celebrated as women of substance.
Thank you.
Okay, so Jojoski from Abuja, I really love the show. So my question is there any job opportunities abroad for computer science presently? You're going to have to answer that, but I'm more interested in Nigeria. I don't want her to tell you and then you now drop her. But before we continue the conversation, let's take a quick break and bring you Popping or Flopping, and we'll be right back. The Medley Show. Okay, thank you so much. That was Popping or Flopping. Forgive my laughter. We're talking about something before we came back, but I still have Stella, Sophia, and Rumna in the house. So I want to go straight into taking messages and some questions. We have a lot coming in. So this first one, right? Okay, so I have a lot coming in at the same time. Hi, I'm Khadija Buba Palam from Yola, Adamawa State. Seriously, technology and innovation helps us in today's world, okay? There's a question I saw while we were on the break, so I want to get it. Yes, so here it is. I just love the... Hello, my name is Grace Emmanuel from Taraba State. I just love this show, most especially the topic today. But I have a problem, and it is the fact that these amazing opportunities that you've mentioned today don't reach the grassroots of the country. They only move on the surface or in the cities. How do we get them to the grassroots? Stella, you want to answer that?
Yeah, I want to answer that. Truly, we, especially the tech women, we're doing a lot of grassroots sensitization. Romana can talk about what she did recently. She went to villages, brought them out from everywhere. So it depends on if you're there, available, and know the time.
But Romana is just one person.
Yeah, so she brought, she spoke to a whole lot. I tell you, you as a person too can just do one. I'm actually doing one, but I have a lot of young girls whom have groomed, which is causing a ripple effect. And that's the best you can do.
So it's like an each one tell one kind
so
of thing.
it's one tell the other. Okay. So that's what it is.
Okay.
I tell you.
So my name is Icon Nixon Odimpu in Abuja. I just want to extend my facilitation to your amazing guests in the studio. Again.
Thank you.
Kudos to the Medley Show. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, Medley. Your program is so educating. I've learned a lot about women in tech just today. I encourage women to enroll into it. My name is Umar from Mina, Niger State. So, good afternoon. My name is Prophet from Benin, and I love the topic on tech today. So, I have another message. Good afternoon. My name is MO. I don't know what MO is, but how do I contact your women in tech guests in in the studio, and also the person with the 4AI project looking for funding? Okay, so we get that message, that person's contact across to you, but would also have you mention how they can contact you right after the show. Okay, so before we continue to take your messages, I want to take a quick break, and we'll be joining the live broadcast, but we'll be right back shortly.